Hello, everyone. It's nice outside, very hot. um, book two for this month, Hope on a Tightrope. And we still have a few more days in the month, so we'll be reading from this. I already have my book lined up for June 1st, book number one for that month, so it should be good. And let's continue reading through. Yet, it is easy to fall prey to two illusions. First, the notion that inclusion guarantees higher quality. Second, the idea that entrance or opening the gates results in a significant redistribution of cultural benefit. Inclusion makes possible new dialogues, new perspectives, and critical orientations, and questions yet only discipline, energy, and talent can produce quality. Darwin's theory of evolution describes organisms interacting with their environment as a whole. Consciousness is just one brief moment within a larger organism. It is mind, body, and soul all tied together. Darwin is inescapable, even for Christians. Nietzsche says that the highest construct in his philosophical imagination is what he calls a gay Socratic or a gay Socrates, or a philosopher who dances. Basically, it's a philosopher with a groove. Black folk make our entree into the Western philosophical tradition with our voices. A philosopher who dances is not just acceptable and understandable, but is indispensable. Black folk come out of a history of people who only had their bodies and voices. You can't separate our voices from our bodies. I'm never optimistic from that angle. The evidence always looks undetermined, but I am full of hope. I never give up on any human being, no matter what color, because I believe they all have potential. In that sense, it's a kind of blues inflected hope rather than a cheap American optimism that motivates me. I'm in no way optimistic, but I remain a prisoner of hope. Chapter 4. Identity and Race. We have to get our stories right from the very beginning. Part of any discussion of race has to do with how we tell the story. The very discovery that black people are human beings is a new one. The question of what it means to be human affects each and every one of us. That's why all of us have so much at stake in black history. You certainly can't talk about what it means to be a human in an African body without wrestling with slavery as a form of social death. For 244 years, black folk had no legal status, no social standing, no public worth whatsoever. You were just a commodity to be bought and sold like a piece of property or cattle. How are you going to navigate yourself through this experience of social death? I think post-COVID, a lot of people are in this situation. What is our real value in the society, the way it functions? That money is the key thing, that economics is the key thing. Morally, all racisms are the same. Historically and cyclically, racism against people of African descent has been a targeted assault on black intelligence and black beauty, black capacity, and black potentiality. When one thinks of anti-Jewish racism, which has inspired vicious pogroms and indescribable Holocaust, one sees that the attack on Jewish intelligence is very different from the attack on African intelligence. African Americans were three-fifths human. We were monkeys or rapists. Now we are projected as crack addicts or criminals. We have always been put in a position of having to defend our humanity, a circumstance that often prohibits an honest exploration of just who we actually are. White brothers and sisters have been shaped by 244 years of white supremacist slavery, 87 years of white supremacist Jim and Jane Crow, and then another 40 years in which significant progress has been made. The stereotypes still cut deep. Any white brother and sister who deeply revels in the humanity of black, brown, yellow, and red brothers and sisters must undergo a kind of conversion, metamorphosis, and transformation. We have to recognize that there is a radical continuity between the killing fields of the plantations, the bodies hanging from the trees, the police brutality, the prison industrial complex, and the Superdome in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. So, let me mark where I left. Hope on the Tightrope. Don't really have to say too much when reading Cornel West. Too much commentary on it. Thank you for your support. Until next time, please protect your mind and protect your body, and be safe.